Number 5. Monkey King. Most people accepted the fact long ago that robot fighting would only ever be a thing in science fiction movies and children's cartoons. It was sad, but how on earth would technology ever exist to see it happen in person? Well, somehow, it has finally arrived, and robot fighting is actually a thing. Back in 2017, a Chinese company called Great Metal released a robot prototype at the Global Mobile Internet Conference in Beijing called Monkey King. With what looks like inspiration from Transformers, the Monkey King can move on 4 legs or 2 and has a giant metal bar for fighting its opponents. The Monkey King is amazing on its own, but can you imagine it in the battle ring? Imagine no more. This robot joined at least 2 others in the first ever Megabots Giant Fighting Robot Sports League. The aim was to create a sport similar to UFC but featuring robots. It seems like the idea is taking off, for robo-race is already a thing. Robots racing on a track rather than punching each other's literal lights out in a fighting ring. Number 4. Piratas. If your parents have been asking you what you want for your birthday or Christmas, then how about a new toy? But not just any toy. A $1.35 million robot with rocket launchers in its shoulder pads and machine guns in its arms. The 13-foot-tall robot, known as Piratas, was built by the Sweetobashi Heavy Industry. It took 2 years to bring Piratas to life, and the man behind the robot, Kogor Kurata, calls it an art piece. But is it art when it has rocket launchers and machine guns? We'd be more likely to call it a killing machine. According to the creator, though, it's a lot tamer than it looks. The rocket launchers have fireworks, and the guns are just BB guns. That's not all that's exciting about this giant robot either. It has 30 joints to offer a full range of motion, and can even pick things up with its humanoid fingers. It also moves at around 6 miles per hour on its 4 wheels. So, if you're yet to decide what you want for your birthday or Christmas, well, now you know. Hey, Mom, Dad, have you got a spare $1.35 million? Number 3. Mark III. Robots fighting. We thought we'd heard of everything. It seems absurd, but it's a real thing, and Mark III is proof of that.
We're building up 4,000 PSI.
Mark III is a 12-ton, 430-horsepower robot that is set to tackle Japan's Megabot. It was released at the Maker Faire, and while it had a few hiccups, was otherwise a success. It threw a punch, and most of its bugs were ironed out early on. As the Megabot CEO says, though, it's called Maker Faire, not Done Fair, which means that everything on display at the robotic-themed event is a work in progress. Mark III is no exception, but pretty considerable headway has been made to make it look and act like something out of a science fiction film. It has American colors of red, white, and blue, and an eagle on its shoulder. It's also quite fast, moving at around 12.5 miles per hour, more than double many other robots released to date. While its weapons are not at their best just yet, it's only a matter of time before the Mark III will be fit to fight at 100%. Number 2. Letran BMW E92 Real Transformers. We thought this day would never come, but it did, and back in 2016. Oh, we've missed so much. Finally, a real-life Transformer, and one that looks entirely normal on the surface before turning into a giant robot. It's every child's dream come true. One minute you see a red BMW E92, and the next you see a giant red robot with a 120-degree moving head, heavy motors, powerful hydraulics, and extendable side wings. The robot even has hands, wrists, and fingers. This Transformer is called the Letran BMW E92 Real Transformer, and it's clear to see that Letran spent a lot of time making this robot. We don't know if it functions like a real car, but it certainly works as a robot. The two side panels move out to form the robot's wings, while the body of the car launches up into the air to develop the chest area of the robot. The head sits above that, and the legs are folded down inside the vehicle when not in use. We're not gonna lie, we want one of these badly. Number 1. Mantis. Have you ever been bored on public transport or even tired of driving your own car? Well, get a walking robot and spice things up. The Mantis is the creation of Matt Denton from Micro Magic Systems, and it is a giant robot that's out of this world. It weighs over 4,000 pounds, stands at over 9 feet tall, and is powered by a 2.2-liter turbo diesel Perkins engine with a complex hydraulic system. But that's not all. With a range of sensors, the Mantis can scuttle along at a generous pace, and it can handle all manner of terrain you throw at it. The best part about the Mantis is that it has an area for a passenger. You can wake up in the morning, get dressed, and instead of hopping into your car to go to work or school, hop into your robot and scuttle down the sidewalk. Move over, e-scooters, there's a new cool kid on the block. But as it turns out, Micro Magic Systems is no stranger to hexapod creations or even animatronics. They built a 6-legged turtle that was used in the Harry Potter films, and many other cool creations for TV and movies.